Good afternoon, people. September 27th, 2019. Time's at 1:47 p.m. I only have a few minutes, so I thought I'd make it short today. Each day, new beginning. The wisdom of all ages and cultures emphasizes the tremendous power our thoughts have over our character and circumstances. Leanne Cordes mentioned that, right? So it says, the wisdom of all ages and cultures emphasizes the tremendous power our thoughts have over our character and our circumstances. Esto me está molestando. Um, as we think, so we are. As we think, so we are. We are gifted with the personal power to make thoughtful choices and thus decide who we are. Our actions and choices combine to create our character. And our character influences the circumstances of our lives because they shape, how we uphold ourselves ethically or with integrity, help us decide and make decisions on what actions to take in our lives whenever we're faced with any kind of decision, whether it is to take up a shift, a new job, deal with certain people, as we think, so we are. Our actions and choices combine to create our character, and our character influences the circumstances of our lives. Our personal mind power will work to our advantage when we think positively, or it will contribute when we think positively, or it will contribute to our disadvantage. Imagining our good fortunes will prepare us for them. Imagining the successful completion of a task heightens and strengthens the commitment we must make daily to it. Imagining the steps necessary to the successful accomplishment of any goal directs our efforts so we don't falter along the way. Our minds work powerfully for our good when we're not inebriated with any substances or we're not doing anything to alter our perception. And just as powerfully to our determinant when fears intrude on all our thoughts. So if we're in our head having fear about a certain decision or action, then of course they're going to have some kind of control over the choice we make, intrude on our thoughts. The structure that God gives me has given me positive personal power. It lies in the relationship I have with my higher power. So the steps and the guidance that He gives give me personal power, and it lies with my relationship that I have with God. My outlook and my attitude toward life reveals the strength of my connection to God. I will work with God and imagine my good fortune today. There's like, as above, so below. Like I said before, as above, so below. And what is it? As we think, so we are. As we think, so we are. So this is going to help us make better decisions because Daily Bread mentions that you can read Isaiah 3 to 4 and Galatians 6, as well as Matthew 25, 1 through 13. Keep watch because you do not know the day or the hour. So it says basically, live like Jesus is coming. How will you live today like Jesus is coming soon? How does knowing He could return any day affect your choices? So if you live in a life of dishonor, if you're living a life conforming to the culture and the way society wants you to live, if you live in a life that you're not proud of or always brings you turmoil or trauma, your decisions, you always end up in a ditch or in a messed up situation. Consider that living your life as Jesus is coming will kind of help you like straighten up. It's like if you always knowing that your parent or someone that you respect and honor is watching you. Are you living ethically? Are you doing stuff that someone's gonna pop you with a ruler and be like, you're not supposed to be doing that. Hold on, let me not cover the speaker. How will you live today like Jesus is coming? How does knowing He could return any day affect your choices? So for me, I live daily depriving myself of flesh pleasures, of anything that just any old person will be living unhappily because I'm so disciplined and just try to stay at routine, giving to others of myself, my energy, my time. And so I live thinking, Jesus is going to be proud of me because I'm giving so much of myself. And so I'm like, if he were to come tomorrow, then I did everything I could do as an individual without unethically stepping on anyone, without mistreating someone, without using someone to my advantage. At least I know that. How does knowing he could return any day affect your choices? It affects every choice I make in my life. Sometimes I even feel selfish when I'm supposed to be taking time out for self care or supposed to be, not running to someone's. I feel selfish when I make the decision not to run to someone who claims they're in need. I stopped being Captain Saber, a while ago, and yet I find myself doing it every once in a while just to give of myself. And sometimes I'm so exhausted. Like I work like 18 to sometimes 48 hours, 50 hours, um, consecutively, nonstop, giving of myself. And of course, yes, I get a compensation for it at work, but it's giving to people. And when I'm not, I try to rest, and I find myself putting my rest last, or my respite, or my getting myself together, to go do stuff for other people. So my life has been tiring. So I feel guilty sometimes when I do that. So I know that at least that affects my choices. So the point today is just to let y'all know, like, ask yourself these questions so that you can hopefully know that someone's always watching, make better decisions. But hey, at the end of the day, to each his own. However you want to live your life is how you choose to. You face your maker at the end. However it is, whatever it ends up being, you make your life, you write your story how you want it. Make your life what you want it. So if you're sitting here and it brings you excitement and joy to get inebriated, go drinking, smoking. If it brings you joy and excitement to lay up with different people, if it brings you joy and excitement to have multiple responsibilities, work hard, and if it brings you happiness, and that's all for it, to each his own. Is if you're all for that for your life and you writing your story the way you want to, then to each his own. However, I'm no one to judge how you want to live your life. But be mindful. I'm just here to share my story. But let me read this real quick. I'm inspired by country singer Tim McGraw's. This is not me. This is a story from the book by Tim McGraw's song "Live Like You Were Dying." In it, he describes some of the exciting bucket list things a man did after receiving some bad news about his health. He also chose to love and forgive people more freely, speaking to them more tenderly. The song recommends that we live well, as if knowing our lives will end soon. The song reminds us that our time is limited. It is important for us not to put off for tomorrow what we can do today, because one day we'll run out of tomorrows, and this is particularly urgent for believers in Jesus who believe that may return at any moment. Perhaps in the very second you're reading this sentence, Jesus urges you to be ready, not like the five foolish virgins who were caught unprepared when the rich groom returned. Matthew 25:6-10. I gotta read these. Matthew 25:6-10, Matthew 25:1-13, Isaiah 3-4, and Galatians 6. But McGraw's song doesn't tell the whole story. We who love Jesus will never run out of tomorrows, Jesus said. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die. John 11:25-26. Our life in him never ends, so don't live like you're dying, because you're not. Rather live like Jesus is coming, because he is. So it's like, in other words, like, make your time count. I mean, whatever that means for you. Some people don't believe that there is a higher power, or believe that someone died for our sins. So at the end of the day, it's important for you to be happy. What makes you happy? Ask yourself, what makes me happy? What do I like to do? What brings me joy? And whatever that is, do it. I'm not here to judge anyone. And I wish I can say it's easy that I'm doing it too, because there are times where I do not have joy, and I'm over here trying to live it. But what brings me joy is, let me just put it out there, when I used to do performing arts and be a dancer, performing, not even in front of anyone, just being in a room, full of mirrors, performing, doing every expression of dance any way my heart and my body felt like moving. Dance brings me joy. Riding horses, being out in nature brings me joy. Swimming brings me joy. Going to different places, exploring new things, discovering, museums, reading books brings me joy. Being around people who are sitting there trying to be healthy brings me joy. Healthy conversations. I used to talk to one of my friends, Dave. We would sit up all night, and that was in my inebriation times, and we would sit up all night inebriated, not doing anything nasty, just talking about life in general, making plans, talking about experiences, hours and hours. Conversation, what drives me? My mind, my intellect. How can you, like, for that brings me joy, like talking, what is it, stimulating my mind, get my blood rushing through those challenging questions, and sharing stories, and relativity. That's exciting to me. But most of all, I think dancing, and I think I really, really need to get back into that because it's healthy as well. It's release good endorphins. It's a form of self-expression. Um, Laughing. Oh my God. You could be crying 1 minute and someone says something funny and then you just start chuckling. One of those deep laughs. And then suddenly you're feeling so much better. And ask yourselves, what do you like to do? Aside from getting wasted, some people love it. That's what they do for fun. And it just wasn't for me. But I think I want to let loose a little bit and do things that bring me joy because I really, really need to reignite that in my life. All this hard work, studying, hard work, hard work, hard work. There has to be some compensation or something to level it out, something to balance it out. I did go to the rooms or, to a nice fancy bougie hotel and swam and things like that, but that's more peaceful and relaxing. I think I'm going to be looking for more fun things to do in the next coming weeks. All work and no play. I used to work hard and play hard, but lately it's been all work and no play. So I think it's time for G to play a little. I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna make proper decisions. I'm gonna play like Jesus is coming. So have a good time, y'all. To each his own. Love one another. Smile at a stranger. Have a beautiful day.